In my last video, I explained how I got 714,000 views, how I grew from this particular point to this point where I begin to have this sudden spike to this level. And then in this particular video, I'm going to show you progress of effort that I've continued to make. You can see on this particular level now, I got 844,000, which means I've added extra 100 and something thousand views within the last couple of days again. You will now see 79,000 on 16th of September. Now, I've broken down some of the core concept, but I'm going to be showing you some extra practical step now on what I'll be doing now. You see, when you go to your suite, business suite of Facebook, that is business.facebook.com, you get to see it, which is the meta part of the business. That means you are going into serious business now with Facebook. When you scroll down and you come at the initial stage, you will see where you can check these messages. You are supposed to do this task every blessed day so that it will tell Facebook that you are actually a human being. You are not just an account that was created by AI. When you come down here, you get to see where you invite people that are reacted to your content. Let me click here. If I click here, these things are very, very important. It's going to help you grow your followers. You see, I have about how many people now? Let me select them all. Let me click here. You see, I have 4 people who like my post. Now I'm going to send them invitation. Now I've sent them invitation. Let me go back again and check if there are people who commented that I need to give them invitation. There is none. Okay, let me come back again. Let me go up. Okay, we don't have any. You can go to your respective post. Let me show you something now. Now, if you come to another part again, which is the messages part that you are receiving, you are supposed to reply people's messages. Don't just stay dumb. You see, most people always hear of algorithm. I'm going to break down what algorithm is after this particular part. Come to this place. You see this one that say hello boss. I say hi bro. Because Facebook is going to see it as you being very interactive. You're actually interacting with people. And how do Facebook get to know that you're interacting with people? Is because they are going to be seeing, the system is going to be reading your messages as they are coming in and coming out. So as I'm sending now, it's giving them, I'm pushing the system to let them know that I'm a human being. And them on the other end, when they are interacting with me, they will know that yes, they are dealing with a human. It's not just a robotic account. If you come to this part of comment, let me show you one interesting thing now. Now, this is one key thing you need to be aware of. You always see comments that are new here. You try to reply them. Now, in this case, I don't have new comments. I'm going to show another way where you increase your followership. You see this point? Click it. You get to see something now. You see? This is where you continue to invite people to. Sometimes the people that interacted are not on that particular first one. You scroll down, you get to see, you are going to interact with them, send them invitation. That is how you grow your followership. That is what I was doing every blessed day to a point where I now have almost 11,000 followers now. Now you get to see more. You can see I'm inviting them. Plus or minus, there is no way you invite 100 and at the end of the day, at least 10 or 100. If you invite 100, at least 20 will follow back. So rather than just be doing all those, going to people's account and be begging, those that interact with your own, can send them an invite. You see, you can see them. The lists are endless. Let me take my time. Let me fast forward this video. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to be explaining some content now. Some of you have heard of this word virtual assistants, social media managers. So these are some of the responsibilities you are going to be doing for some accounts. You will not see that I'm doing it manually. These jobs, most of the time, they are not easy. It can take you 4 hours. You can see, I'm still giving invitation. I have about 800 people here who reacted. So sometimes it can take me 2 to 3 hours just sending all this invitation. Okay, I think this one is done. I'll go, oh, it's not done. You can see I'm still having more. So you are going to be repeating this type of tasks every blessed day. If you think this is good for you to do virtual assistant job, so this you need to prepare your mind for this. Social media manager, replying to comments, sending comments, replying to messages. So it's a whole lot of work. It's not as easy as most of these content creators try to make it seems. I come here. Let me check if I have any here. So for this one, I don't have any. Let me go to the next post again. I'll click on the next post. Now the post has loaded. So in trying to make your content more interactive, there is one thing you always need to be aware of. You need to create content in a way that you ask people questions to react on certain things. You see, this one has 300 something views, comment, you can see. I'm going to be sending them invitations. So you have to take your time and go through all your content every blessed day like this. Yes, that is what it means to have a social media account that is booming. So while you are praying for growth, you should also be ready for the responsibility. So that is the beauty of the whole stuff. Now I think this one doesn't have much interaction. Doesn't have. But the good thing is it has about 93 comments. So let me go down here. There's none any. Click here. Click here, none. So at this level, I'm done with this particular part. Now the next thing you do is you need to always check your profile for violation. Go to facebook.com/professional dashboard. You need to always check this point. If it is still green, you see okay. And then when you go down, you see some host of other features that you always need to check. So at this level, we are done with this particular part. Now I'm going to be explaining what this algorithm is all about. So when you hear the word algorithm, most people believe that it's one magic. There is a magician somewhere. Even this recommendation, you need to check it. They believe that there is one magician somewhere that is a code that is written that is recommending people's page, and then it's making people go viral and some people not to go viral. This is the reality of it. Algorithm is just like a set of instructions that was written into the system. You can see no violation, everything is okay. That means my account is in a very good state of health and my content is being recommended and my monetization is active. So for you to really get the best out of the monetization feature that I'm talking about here, the best out of the algorithm, one, you need to see things as a business. You need to be very, very serious about it. That is why I don't encourage people to go and create account because a content creator is showing you his dashboard that is making money. You see, the content creation space is not a get rich quick system. That is why even business people, big brands spend money on advertisement because they know what it takes to build an account to any number of followership. So it's a whole lot of work that you need to prepare your mind for. So while you are doing that, the first thing you need to be aware of is your content. When they are being very interactive, as you are posting, you are telling the algorithm that this is what you are good at. That's the first thing you need to be aware of. While you are posting, let me give you a simple example here. Let's say, for example, let me go to someone here. Let's say, for example, this very guy, I will go to his profile now. You will see something. Once I click, it will take me to his profile. Now, this little action of click that I just did now, that I came to this place now, I have sent a signal to Facebook database that I'm interacting with this page. Now, if I should watch any video here on this particular page, this is what will happen. When this guy posts his next video, the system will register me as somebody who watches video, who watches content here, and they are going to start recommending his content for me. That is how the system works. So whenever somebody goes to go to your profile and he watches something, the system will begin, at least if you watch up to 2 or 3, trust me, the next time you post, the system will begin to recommend or show that person your post. That is how the system is designed. So that is why if you go and watch somebody's profile, watch a video in somebody's profile, the next thing you know is begin to see that they are recommending the stuff. It doesn't happen by chance. It's not luck. That is how the system is designed. So while it does that, that is why you see some people who understand this trick very well. When they go to other people's comments, they drop comment in a way that by the time you read that comment, you want to check their profile to see what they have. So that singular action of going to check, before you know, you are pushing the algorithm to begin to recommend their own posts for you. And then another part of it again, when it comes to the aspect of the algorithm, when you post something and people are beginning to interact with it, it is also giving a signal to the database that, hey, people are interacting with this thing, let's show it to more people. That is why you begin to see that non-followers are continuing to see your posts and the rest of them. So they group your posts as part of a particular niche or a particular group. If it is funny video, they add it. We have what you call in the database, we have what we call the ordered, the structured format of database, where you structure the information. That means you filter information, you group them. If they are comedy video, you group them in one place. If they are music video, you group them in one place. If they are videos about health, you group them. That's why once you start watching video about health, you see a lot of recommendation about health related stuff. So that is how the database is structured. And that single action that you are clicking or going from one point to another, as you are moving, the system is registering your footprints all over the internet as you're moving. Taking note of the profile you visit. That is the same thing that happened with TikTok. The same thing with TikTok. But in the case of Facebook, this is what makes the difference. In the case of Facebook, when you are doing that, the system registers the profile you view and then it begins to recommend. But for the case of TikTok, when you add somebody contact to your list, the system automatically take note that your contact, this person is in your contact. So they begin to recommend video of that person to you without you visiting that person's profile. Before, after a while, maybe for a particular period of time, if they see that you are not interacting with it, they move it away, then they stop showing you. So the database begin to see signal that you are not interacting with this particular profile. You are not interacting with information that is coming from this particular platform, from the particular link, or from this particular profile. Then they stop recommending it. All the social media handle does the same thing. The same thing with YouTube. YouTube too operate in the same way. But this is the key thing you need to be aware of. All of them have their own unique features, and that unique feature is what makes them very powerful. That is why if you have a lot of people's contact in your phone, you have a higher chance of growing fast on TikTok than Facebook. If you are somebody that, even if you are not too interactive, although being interactive is sometimes good, but you have a higher chance of your TikTok growing faster than your Facebook and even your Twitter or your YouTube. So if you are somebody that's very interactive, you chat with people a lot, if you're on Facebook and you're always going to different groups, dropping, sharing posts, and you have a higher chance of growing faster on Facebook, because Facebook has communities, they have group which TikTok doesn't have. So, and the case of YouTube sometimes is a bit complicated because the YouTube system is the one that will always take decision for you. That is one of the difficult parts that is very difficult to grow on YouTube. That's why you can see somebody who started yesterday, before you know, he's having thousands of followers on Facebook, thousands of followers on TikTok, and then when even sometimes on Instagram. And Instagram and YouTube have similar features. So they don't have communities where you can easily interact. There is no place where they are getting their external signal. That means they have to decide for you who to recommend your content to and who not to recommend your content to. So everything is left at their own mercy. But if you are smart enough, they want you to run advert. And when you run advert, it increases the chances of you moving faster. So I believe you begin to understand how the algorithm is. So that means for you to grow on social media as a whole, it means you are going to build a particular lifestyle where every day you are checking your social media handle, you are doing some particular actions that will speed up the process by posting, by interacting with other people's content, by ensuring that your posts are going on well, by making research review, by looking at your content that are performing very well and reviewing them to get them better. Like the particular post I post here, which gave me the particular spike, was a post I post that gave me this particular spike. What I did was, by the time I look at how it perform, I pick that particular post, I remodify it, what we call purpose repurposing. That means I still work on it, I make it better, added some extra thing, and then I repost it, and it gave me this particular spike. So that is how this placement on this particular stuff. Sometimes working on trends too also matters, but if you are working on trend, avoid going off your niche. Let's say, for example, you are into health, and then there's a trend about Gege University. Now, if you are going to talk about Gege University in this case, you are not supposed to take from Gege University as just a plain talk. If you are going to talk about Gege University, you should bring the health perspective of relationship, how the relationship affects both parties, the male and the female. So such things, we have a higher chance of making people interact with your posts who are already following you than people who don't follow you. Because if you are deviating from that particular initial audience, that's what we talk about audience. Because for an account to grow from 1 follower to 1,000 followers, it means the people there that are following the account, there is something that is keeping them. So the moment you start deviating from that, they are going to sense it. Some of them will begin to move away. Some of them will not even begin to interact with your posts. And then from there, the system will begin to see bad signal. They will not be pushing your content again. And you see these small views that you see, number of 3 seconds and the rest of them, they also matters a lot. That's why we talk about retention rate. If you have people that are not interacting up to 3 seconds with your post, it gives bad signal that your content are not good. So they are going to be breaking more things. I believe you learned something in this particular video. So do well to check as I continue to drop more updates and breaks all these things down for you. Thanks once again.